Hi, I'm Coach Shanna. Welcome to your masterclass on rewiring harmful beliefs. It's not the events of our lives that have shaped us, but our beliefs as to what those events mean to us. It's never the environment, it's never the events of our lives, but instead the meaning we attach to the events and how we interpret them that shape who we are today and who we will become tomorrow. Beliefs are what make the difference between a lifetime of joy or a lifetime of sadness. Our beliefs are the guiding force to tell us what will lead to pain and what will lead to pleasure. Whenever something happens in your life, your brain asks two questions. Number one, will this situation mean pain or pleasure? Number two, what must I do now to avoid pain and to enjoy pleasure? The answers to these questions are based on our beliefs, and our beliefs are driven by our generalizations about what we've linked to pain and to pleasure. Our generalizations guide all of our actions and directly impact the quality of our lives. Generalizations can be very useful when used appropriately. They are simply the identification of similar patterns. So, for example, what allows you to look at a tap and turn it to the left or right and know that water will come out, although you've never seen that specific tap before? Why do you believe this? Simply, your experience in the past of taps have provided enough references to create a sense of certainty that allows you to follow through and take action. Without this certainty, we would virtually be unable to leave our house, drive our cars, use a phone, or do any of the dozens of things that we do in a day. These generalizations simplify our lives and they allow us to function. Unfortunately, generalizations is what complicates areas of our lives, especially in relationships, or we can oversimplify and sometimes create limiting beliefs. Maybe you've made a few poor decisions in relationships and have interpreted that to mean that you will always sabotage yourself. Or you had a series of intense experiences with one person and have then generalized that experience will be the same with other people as well. We need to remember that most of our beliefs are generalizations about our past based on our interpretations of painful or pleasurable experiences. The challenge is threefold. Number one, most of us do not consciously decide what we're going to believe. Number two, our beliefs are based on the misinterpretation of past experiences. And three, once we adopt a belief, we forget it's merely an interpretation. We begin to treat our beliefs as if they're realities. In fact, we rarely, if ever, question our long-held beliefs. If you ever wonder why people do what they do, again, you need to remember that human beings are not random creatures. All of our actions are the result of our beliefs. Whatever we do is out of the conscious or unconscious beliefs about what will lead to pleasure or away from pain. If you want to create long-term consistent changes in your behaviors, you must change the beliefs that are holding you back. So what is a belief anyway? Often in life, we talk about things without having a clear idea of what they really are. Most people treat a belief as if it's a thing when really all it is a feeling of certainty about something. If you say you believe that you are unintelligent, what you're really saying is, I feel certain that I'm unintelligent. That sense of certainty allows you to tap into resources that allow you to produce unintelligent results. We all have the answers inside of us for virtually anything, or at least we have access to the answers we need through others, but often lack our belief. Our lack of certainty causes us not to be able to use the capacity that resides within us. Let's take, for example, the idea that you're beautiful for a second and say to yourself, I'm beautiful. Now, whether it's an idea or a belief, that will come down to the amount of certainty you feel about the phrase. As you say it, if you think, well, I'm not really beautiful, what you're really saying is, I don't feel certain that I'm beautiful. So how do you turn an idea into a belief? Let me offer you a simple metaphor to describe the process. An idea is like the tabletop, and without legs, that table would not stand up by itself. Belief, on the other hand, has legs supporting the table to stand. If you really believe I'm beautiful, how do you know being beautiful isn't true? Do you have some references to support the idea, some experiences in life to back it up? Those are the legs that make your tabletop stand, that make your beliefs certain, that makes you feel certain. What about some of the reference experiences you've had? Maybe you were told you were beautiful. Maybe you look like what other people see in magazines as being beautiful. All of those experiences mean nothing until you organize them under the idea that you're beautiful. As you do this, the legs make you feel solid about the idea because you begin to believe it. Your ideas feel certain, and now it's a belief. Once you understand this metaphor, you can begin to see how your beliefs are formed and get an insight into how you can change them as well. First, though, it's important to note that we can develop beliefs about anything if we just find enough legs, enough reference experiences to build it up. Are your beliefs strengthening or weakening you? Are they empowering or disempowering you on a daily basis? What are the possible sources of references in our lives? Absolutely, we can pull from personal experiences, how you were raised, your family life, the things you were taught or things you observed. Sometimes these references are based solely on our imagination. The emotional intensity we feel about any of these references would definitely affect the strength of what's holding your table up. With the legs, the strongest and the most solid legs are formed by personal experience. Personal experience that we have a lot of emotional attachment to because they were painful or pleasurable experiences. The other factor is the number of references. Obviously, the more reference experiences supporting an idea, the stronger your beliefs will be. Our beliefs have different levels of emotional certainty and intensity, and it's important to know just how intense they really are. In fact, I've classified beliefs into 3 categories: opinions, beliefs, and convictions. An opinion is something we feel relatively certain about, but the certainty is only temporary because it can be easily changed. A belief, on the other hand, is formed when we begin to develop a much larger base of reference legs, and especially reference legs about which we have a very strong emotion to. These references give us an absolute sense of certainty about something. And again, as I've said before, these references can come in a variety of forms. Anything from our personal experiences to information that we've taken in from other sources, or even things that we can imagine vividly. People with beliefs have such a strong level of certainty that they're often closed off to new information. If you can question your references enough, you will begin to allow for new input. This creates enough doubt to destabilize all references and make room for a new belief. Conviction, however, can eclipse a belief primarily because of the emotional intensity a person can link to an idea. A person holding a conviction doesn't only feel certain, but gets angry if their conviction is even questioned. A person with conviction is unwilling to ever question their references, even for a moment. They are totally resistant to new input, often to the point of obsession. On the positive side, convictions, by their passion, they can inspire in us. It can be empowering because they compel us to take action. The best thing you can do to create mastery in any area of your life, especially in relationships, is to raise the belief to the level of conviction. Remember, conviction has the power to drive you to action, to push you through all kinds of obstacles. Beliefs can do this as well, but some areas of your life may require the added emotional intensity of conviction, often in the area of relationships. It's necessary to rise to the level of conviction to be able to confidently take action to achieve your relationship goals. So how can you create a conviction? Number 1, start with the basic belief. Number 2, you want to reinforce your beliefs by adding new and more powerful references. Number 3, then find a triggering event or else create one of your own. Associate yourself fully by asking, what will it cost me if I don't ask questions that create emotional intensity? For example, if you want to develop a conviction never to abuse drugs, then make powerful consequences of drug abuse feel real to you by viewing films or, better yet, visiting a shelter so that you see the repercussions of continuing that particular action or behavior. The 4th step is to take action. Each action you take strengthens your commitment and raises the level of your emotional intensity and conviction. If we're going to work towards shifting our beliefs to the level of conviction, first we have to identify what our limiting beliefs are and what we would like to shift them to. We must gain a sense of clarity to be able to gain certainty and then to shift to conviction. Let's explore your situation that you're now facing and that your beliefs could be driving and or impacting. I'd like you to refer to your workbooks now and answer the following questions. I do suggest that you pause the video and give quality time to really write out what is happening in your life now and how you feel about it. Describe a situation that occurred during your relationship or is happening now that is really causing you to feel pain and difficulty. Describe the situation as it is or was and how it feels for you right now. Don't edit how you feel on any level. Really let it come out. What are you attached to? What do you feel like you can't live without? What haven't you admitted to yourself? What's hurting you that maybe you're trying to avoid? What were you telling yourself at the time? What did you do as a result? How did you respond? What happened in the end? What was the impact on you? What are you most afraid of happening or not happening? We want to take the opportunity now to connect more deeply with your current emotional experience, as we know that intense emotions are the driving force of your belief systems. We want to take some time now to explore your emotions from a place of clarity and who they might be connected to in terms of the pain that you may be feeling. Now, confront the person who's upsetting you. Don't hold back, even if you are upset with yourself. I am upset with name person because, and then name the reason. Be as confrontational as possible with the person that you're upset with. What exactly are you upset with them for? Be as precise as possible. It doesn't need to be lengthy. The least amount of words that you come up with, the better. You want clarity on precisely what you feel upset about now. Now identify your real emotions and don't hold back once again. Because of what you did or are doing, I feel. It is of high importance that you allow yourself to feel your feelings. Don't censor them or stuff them. All emotions are good, but they do become problematic when we suppress them. Suppressed emotions have a way of coming out in uncontrolled or harmful ways. Ensure that the emotions that you identify really represent real emotions that you actually feel, not just thoughts about what you feel. We're taking the time now to explore your personal situation in more depth and also taking the time to explore how you feel about your situation and what emotions are specifically coming up for you and why they are painful. Let's begin to explore your positive and negative beliefs and how they might be showing up in your current challenge that you wrote about in the previous session. We've discovered so much about beliefs, but in order to truly take control of our lives, we've got to know what beliefs we're using already to guide us. So right now, I'd like you to refer back to your workbook where there's 2 sections on empowering and disempowering beliefs. Stop everything else that you're doing and take the next 10 to 20 minutes or so to have some fun. Begin to brainstorm all the beliefs that you have, both those that empower you and disempower you. making sure to cover the two types of beliefs. The first is the if-then beliefs. For example, if I consistently give my all, then I will succeed. Or if I'm totally passionate with this person, then they'll leave. The second is global beliefs. For example, people are basically good. People bring pain. Beliefs about yourself, beliefs about your career, your education, beliefs about love, beliefs about relationships, beliefs about abundance. Write down as many of these as you can. Imagine them for the next 10 to 20 minutes. And please give yourself the gift of doing this right now. And when you're done, I'm going to show you how you can strengthen your empowering beliefs and eliminate the disempowering ones. Did you take enough time to make sure you wrote out both lists, the empowering beliefs and the disempowering beliefs? If not, go back now and do it. What have you learned by doing this? Take a moment now to review your beliefs referring to your workbooks. Decide upon and then enter in the 3 most empowering beliefs on your list. Then I want you to continue to answer these questions in your workbook. How do they empower you? How do they strengthen your life? Really think about the positive effects that they have on you. Now let's look at your limiting beliefs. As you review them, what are some of the consequences that those beliefs carry with them? Write down at least 3 of the most disempowering beliefs off your list into your workbooks. Decide right now, once and for all, that you're no longer willing to pay the price that these beliefs are charging your life. Remember that if you begin to doubt the beliefs and question their validity, you shake their reference legs so they no longer impact you. Knock those legs of certainty out from underneath those disempowering beliefs by asking yourself some of the following questions. Again, refer back to your workbooks. How is this belief ridiculous or absurd? Was the person I learned this belief from worth modeling in this area? What will it ultimately cost me emotionally if I don't let go of this belief? What will it ultimately cost me in my relationships if I don't let go of this belief? What will it ultimately cost me physically if I don't let go of this belief? What will it ultimately cost me financially if I don't let go of this belief? What will it cost my family and loved ones if I don't let go of this belief? By taking the time to really answer these questions, you may find that your beliefs have been significantly weakened by asking yourself these questions. Now, become fully associated with what these beliefs have been costing you and the real costs in your future if you do not change them. You want to take appropriate time for each harmful belief to go through these 7 questions and really look at what they're costing you. In which ways are these beliefs bringing pain into your life? The more that you can, with clarity and certainty, become clear about how these beliefs are bringing pain into your life, the more you will be driven to rewire these beliefs into positive ones and take big action to support them. We can't get rid of harmful beliefs or patterns without replacing it with a new one. Refer to your workbooks now and write down the replacements for at least 3 of your harmful beliefs in which you have identified you wish to eliminate. An example of this might be, I will never find a partner I truly desire because they always leave. If you were to reframe this belief, it could be, I am worthy of love and connection, I am supported. We now have to back up this idea with references for you to begin to feel certain. As you reinforce and strengthen this belief, it will begin to direct your behavior in an entirely new and more powerful way. If you find reframing your harmful belief difficult, you can ask yourself the question, what would I have to believe in order to succeed in this life area? Referring to your workbooks now, you must go to extensive effort in giving examples of references that support your positive belief. If you are looking for evidence that you are enough, you have to look at all of the aspects in your life in which you already see love, connection, and consistent support. You need to shift your perspective to where there is evidence of this. Your mind will naturally default to the doubt, so you do need to make efforts to direct your focus. It doesn't matter how small or large the examples are. Write down as many as you can, even if they feel insignificant or even silly. My examples of evidence to support my belief are: I experience love and connection with my best friend. I have evidence of how my best friends support me and I support them. They take my calls and we talk through situations when I feel fearful. I feel safe in being able to communicate how I feel, and I can recognize feeling love. I feel love and connection with my dog, Albert. When I feel sad, he seems to know and will stay by my side. I can recognize that I feel loved. To support your new belief, we'll now practice an exercise that reinforces and actually rewires the new belief. Don't forget, this is also a separate audio, and we suggest you practice this every day for maximum benefit. We're now going to practice the new belief quick fix pattern. The first step is to select a negative image that represents your harmful belief. Think about one of the harmful beliefs that you listed. Think about the story associated and the feelings that you connect with this belief. Really get a sense of it. This first step is the only one that's unpleasant. The most powerful memory may be one in which other people have mistreated you, said hurtful things to you, which actually led to the creation of the belief. Notice where in your body these negative feelings are located. Intensify them and notice anything else about them, such as their size and shape. Notice the images that come up for you as you do this. Whatever image most symbolizes this experience will be your cue image. We will use this as a swish later in the process. Notice any sounds associated with this image. Step 2, we're going to disassociate from the experience. We're going to step out of the experience. Stand up, move around, open your eyes, do other things to break state. Blink faster, move your facial muscles, wave your right hand, stretch your left. Think about what a truck looks like. Continue with state-breaking activities until you are fully extracted from the negative state. Step 3, we create a powerful self-esteem imagery. Now you're going to create an image that represents the positive, supportive belief that you created that was the opposite of your harmful belief. Imagine seeing yourself with profound self-esteem and confidence in relationship to this new belief. How would you appear in terms of your expression, gait, gestures, and posture? How would you sound? How would people react as they are enjoying your pure confidence in relationship to this new belief? When this has some momentum for you, imagine yourself in a new situation propelled by this connection to the new belief. Notice how it is stimulating and motivating to be in a new situation. Add to this the sense that this reality is in the very near future. It crowds out any previous caring that you had about past attacks. This state is very much in the moment and involved in creating a bright future. Now, amplify the state, enlarge it, brighten it, saturate the colors in your mind. Include the submodality of attitude and thoughts by becoming aware of your resources, such as your sense of choice, support, and creativity. Notice how this image and state are attractive. Connect with this attraction, becoming more drawn to it. Build the attitude that you need this and you must have it. Build your sense of the possibility of it and the ways that are already real, whatever they may be. Put a mysterious smile on that image of yourself. Step 4, we practice shrinking and restoring the self-esteem image. Make a mental frame around that image of you with the high self-esteem connected to your new belief. Now shrink it so it becomes a teeny little picture in the open space in front of you. Make it sparkle at you. Very quickly, take that sparkling little dot in the distant space in front of you and jump it right back to its previous size and aliveness. Include the "it feels good to be me" attitude and actual voice in all its richness. Open your eyes for a moment. Then close them and think of a black screen. Now see that high self-esteem image again, and now shrink it again into that sparkling little dot. Now take it back to its full size. Alternate this shrinking and expanding with a lot of intensity. Step 5, we set up the swish. First, let's understand what it means to use the word swish in this step. It means shifting from one image to another in your mind. In this example, you will switch between the mental images of shrinking the disturbing image of the limiting belief to blowing up the high self-esteem positive image. Swish means to swish between two visuals. Shrink the high self-esteem image and place it in front of you in the middle of the horrible, disturbing image linked to the limiting belief, the one that you discovered in the beginning of this pattern. Shrink the negative image quickly into a teeny gray dot in front of you, and at the same time quickly blow up the teeny dot into your full-size self-esteem image so that it completely covers a negative image. Repeat this swish pattern, beginning with the negative image and the dot-size self-esteem image. Say swish as you do this. When you bring back the negative image, don't say swish. When you do swish back to the positive image, include the verbal, "It feels good to be me," coming from that image. Do it again, snapping your fingers at the same time. When you swish in the positive image, let the good feelings wash over you and flow through you. Step 6, we swish 10 times. Open your eyes and move around for a bit. Close your eyes. Imagine a blank screen and we'll start the real change. Do the swish 10 times as fast as you can. Do it with as much emotion, enthusiasm, and determination as you can muster. Remember, the negative image is a black blinking dot. When you swish, say swish and snap your fingers. When the bright, colorful self-esteem image is full size, have it blast out the limiting image and feelings. As you do the 10 repetitions, see how fast you can make the swish happen. Step 7, challenge yourself to handle extreme pleasure. Positive self-esteem can dramatically enhance every part of your life and make it much more pleasurable. This step attaches your compelling image of high self-esteem linked to your new belief to all aspects of your life. Self-esteem affects every single detail in your life. Since memories are such triggers, we'll start by attaching this positive state and image to the past linked to your negative belief. Then we will do new situations since they are your opportunities to trigger affective states. Finally, we'll do the future in order to make your goals and plans more attainable. Reach out with your hands and grab the strong image of self-esteem, just like you would grab a really big mirror. Grab it, lift it, notice something new. There are thousands of high self-esteem images behind it. These images are of you being successful in everything you do in life. In these images, you are strong, committed, powerful, happy, thrilled, excited, and pleasurable. As you lift the image, all of the other images are lifted with it. Smile to yourself, throw it high above you. Everything spreads out in the open air above your head. A split of a second later, they all fall down, spreading all around you. In front of you, there's thousands of future images covering the ground. To your sides are thousands of opportunities that you seize. Behind you are thousands more showing you valuable energies of the past that leads to the sparkling points along your past timeline. Imagine them each framed with a blinking, shining frame yelling for your attention. Get in touch with the growing internal state of confidence in facing challenges. This state is supported by the memories of your power. Send any remaining images of you that are negative back behind the positive images. Have the positive images so intense in their submodalities and added elements of blinking and brightness and yelling for attention that they fully command your attention away from any negativity. These images continue to interrupt any negative or wandering thoughts with, "Look at me, I feel good being me. Step 8 is future pace. Imagine yourself waking up tomorrow and finding that these images are still all around you, blinking and yelling for attention. See yourself with that mysterious smile. Imagine people enjoying this quality of yours and how you affect them in positive ways. Step 9, finish the pattern. Do whatever you'd like to complete the pattern and open your eyes, cultivating fresh, eager readiness for the rest of your day or evening. Step 10 is a test. Bring up one of the negative images and see if it has any power over you. If it does, you can repeat this exercise from time to time. If you have trouble getting the image, that's even better. Also, do you see any effects of improved self-esteem over the coming days or weeks?